Howard Bloom, who's been doing great work reporting on this from the beginning, sent me a note this morning saying he's hearing that a large part of the reason Kohberger cut this deal was to protect his parents. His father would have been called to testify about what was said during that cross-country trip they took together. You remember after the murders, the dad flew out there on, I think it was December 4th. The murders were November 22nd, overnight into the 23rd. And the dad traveled cross-country from Washington State back home to the Poconos in Pennsylvania with him. And on top of that, we learned this in the Dateline schedule, that at 6 a.m. the morning after the murders, Bryan Kohberger called his mother and spoke with her for nearly an hour. This is the first time hearing it was the mother. I knew he had called home and spoke with his mom for nearly an hour. He did not want his mother to have to testify about that call, or his sister about confronting the father with her suspicions that Bryan may have done it. I don't know, Matt. I mean, does a sociopath, a psychopath like this have feelings for his dad or his mom? Is that possible?
You know, we hear the term anthropomorphizing, which is when people start attributing human emotions to animals. And in a way, a guy like this, I think that what he's really worried about, Megyn, is he's in Idaho and he could actually be executed for this. And I agree with Art. The evidence in this case is overwhelming. And especially those little things like those little selfies and things like that. He was going down, his defense team knew he was going down. And I think fundamentally, the psychopaths, the one human they actually care about is themselves. And I think that that's what motivated him. I don't think a guy like Kohberger actually cares about too many other people. And I think that that's a nice speculative sort of human interpretation of that. I think that he was worried about it literally in the state of Idaho's own neck more than what his family would go through. That's my take on it.
You know what's interesting, though, and I was thinking about this morning preparing to come here. If I'm him, right, I don't like to equate myself to being him, but I would want to do some investigation as what life is like with life in prison. If it is like with the federal guys, like the World Trade Center bombers and stuff, where you're just in a cage, basically 23 hours a day, and every third day you get to go out, but the rest of the time you're in this little cage. And yeah, maybe you get a radio and you get a book. I don't know. At his age, would I want to live the next 50 or 60 years like that, or would I rather prefer euthanasia? It'll take 10 years before they actually put a needle in his arm or shoot him or whatever they're going to do out there. But, you know, living in a cage is for 50 or 60 years. That's rough. I mean, I speak to criminal defendants, right?